Listen, we have built empires. I'm talking about specifically Black Americans on American soil, while Jim Crow tried to break them. And then came mass immigration to take advantage of what we built. Examples. We already know what they did with Black Wall Street. Burned it, bummed it down. On American soil. Do you know how many there were? Greenwood, North Carolina. Sweet Auburn, Atlanta. Bronzeville, Chicago. Listen to this. Mass immigration post-1900s strategically positioned newcomers in Black economic zones using Black consumer bases as their launching pad. They have routinely, systematically destroyed our wealth. But guess what? We're in the process of rebuilding it now. And check this out. Ecclesiastes says this: money is a defense. So now you understand. I'll be back. Hey folks, thank you for returning, those who are returning and you have subscribed. I appreciate you guys. I really do. You new subscribers, you guys rock. All of my subscribers, you guys rock too. But I'm talking about this new batch that came in. You guys are on fire. And I really appreciate you. I do. And I just have some great clips that I want to show you guys to let you know our people ain't playing games out there. So if there are any doubts, I need you guys to tell them doubts to go jump into the deepest part of the ocean, because our people are not playing. Then I have some clips to show you, show you some things, some foolishness that's taking place in these communities by a group of people who got a hate crime bill passed, and we gonna see their hatred. Imagine where the dollar circulated over and over, building wealth before it left, or before it ever left. Imagine a community where the dollar circulated over and over, building wealth before it ever left. A place with its own banks, luxury hotels, movie theaters, and law firms, all Black owned, all thriving, even under the shadow of Jim Crow. This wasn't some fantasy. This was Sweet Auburn in Atlanta and Jackson Ward in Richmond, Virginia. This was Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This was the blueprint. Somebody said we are the plug. Not by accident, but by design. What if I told you that the golden age of Black business wasn't just a fleeting moment, but a robust reality that was systematically taken apart? We're about to uncover the forgotten history of these prosperous Black economies and reveal the multi-part plan that was engineered to dismantle Black wealth from the inside out. And that's one thing I don't like about mass immigration. These people come over here, they get, gaslit, and they feel a little arrogant and feeling themselves like they really accomplished something great that we never achieved. They don't even bother to take the time out to go learn our history. And you know what? They don't care. They don't want to, because they love stomping on us. They love thinking that we are what these liars say we are. That's what I don't like. How does it feel that immigrants are coming over here doing better than you? That's a lie straight from the pit of hell. You're not doing better than us. What you're doing is like a bare minimum to what we've already done. And then, like I said, the bragging, being braggadocious and nasty with it, arrogant with it, like they discovered the cure of cancer. It's like you turn around and flip the script, ask them whatever so-called achievements you have in this country, whatever success you think you've gained, Would you be able to do that in your country? Watch them look stupid. But I came to America because I wanted to better for my family. Yeah, we know that. But whatever success you built in this country, would you have been able to do it in yours? And that's another reason why they're so pissed off and angry with us and envy, because they hate that they had to leave their roots behind and come to a foreign country just to have some kind of shot at success. They had to leave everything behind. We didn't have to do that, and yet we still thrived. They hate that and admire it at the same time. But see, I can't help them out with their little mental issues. Let's go on. To really get what was lost, we have to first understand what was built. The period from the late 1800s to the early 1930s is seen by many historians as a peak period for black business. But this wasn't some accident. It was a direct response to a brutal reality, Jim Crow segregation. Because white-owned businesses often refused to serve black customers, a powerful sense of necessity kicked in. What's happening now? History is repeating itself in a good way. Our necessity now is for us to start funneling money into our businesses to stop making these other people rich who hate us and take our money and talk stupid to us. How stupid can you be to take money from your base consumers and then talk crazy to them? Let's go on. If you couldn't get a prescription filled, and I'm talking about racists too. If you couldn't get a prescription filled, you started your own pharmacy. If you couldn't get a loan, you started your own bank. And yes, we still have banks today. If you couldn't find a place to stay while traveling, you built your own hotels and inns. And then some of people. This created what's called a parallel black business ecosystem. Across the country in neighborhoods that became the heart of black life, entrepreneurs built self-sustaining economies, and these weren't just small mom and pop shops. We're talking about sophisticated networks of commerce. Take Jackson Ward in Richmond, Virginia, nicknamed the Harlem of the South. It was home to Maggie L. Walker, the first black woman in the United States to charter and serve as president of a bank. Her St. Luke Penny Savings Bank anchored a district buzzing with theaters, clubs, and hundreds of black-owned enterprises. See how she opened that bank and then everything around her thrived? You see how it's the opposite for us now? These immigrants come in our community, open these businesses with their inferior products and 20-day-old meat and milk, acting like they don't know it's out of date. They come in our community, build up these raggedy businesses. Some of them are raggedy, and they take money out like a leech, just pulling the blood marrow out of our community. And then you wonder why our communities look forsaken, because you keep funneling money into these parasites who just take from us. They don't even have the decency or sense to give back. When you keep taking and you don't give, you soon will implode. Down in Atlanta, Sweet Auburn was dubbed the richest Negro street in the world. By Fortune magazine in 1956. That wasn't even that long ago. It was the headquarters for giants like Atlanta Life Insurance Company, founded by a formerly enslaved man, Alonzo Herndon, who became Atlanta's first black millionaire. These things I'm saying to you guys can be looked up. I'm not talking to my people who know what's up. We know what's up. I'm talking to those naysayers that think that they discovered how to breathe underwater without any kind of breathing apparatus. You ain't did nothing. Nothing but come over here and run your mouth, and the government fed you with resources that they kept from us. That's what we keep telling you. Because they know we would supersede everybody, including these races that had over 500 years of wealth stored and hoarded. We would supersede them. Let's go. These districts were more than just places to shop. They were the economic heart and soul of Black America. The money from these businesses funded civil rights work, See, our money can funnel things like that, whether it's political, whatever matters we have, we can fund them ourselves. We don't need these people to fund us, because then they're going to try to put a leash on us, try to tell us what to do. Let's go. The spaces themselves, the barbershops, beauty salons, and diners were incubators for social and political ideas. The dollar circulated within these communities for extended periods, building collective wealth in a way that seems almost unimaginable today. This was a world they built, a world of pride, progress, and prosperity, forged in the fires of segregation. It proved what was impossible. And for some, that was the most dangerous idea of all. It seemed our people did better when, segregation was active. It's not until segregation was supposedly discontinued on paper, we left out our communities and made the mistake of giving these people who hated us our money and taking our money from our family, our community. You left them high and dry, going to go shop in these all white businesses who didn't want you there anyway. You made them richer. Okay, let me play this clip for you guys. This right here just confirms what this young lady said on the panel. I've said it several times in my video. I was on a TikTok panel. This young lady brought this up. She said, who was actually under those white sheets? And sometimes they covered up their hands. They would wear gloves. So you had no clue, right? We can assume that they were all white under those sheets, but who knows? So when you see this clip I'm about to show you, it's going to make your mind. You're going to start pondering some thoughts, some things. Check this out.
Chicago police search for a man in connection with a cross burning in Grant Park. We've also just learned the FBI is now part of this investigation. Community members and leaders are blasting the symbol of racism and white supremacy. WJ's Dana Rebick has the details.
This happened mid-afternoon on Tuesday here in Grant Park. We are hearing from a woman who drove by and saw this as it was happening, as Chicago police release a new image of a man they believe could be responsible.
This is something, we've read about history books and seen in black and white footage, that type of thing, but never like today, 2026, you would expect to see this.
Kanika Carlton and her daughter were driving down Lakeshore Drive near Balbo around 2:30 Tuesday afternoon when they saw flames coming from Grant Park.
We thought it was just a tree branch burning, and we were going to call just 911 to say, hey, it's something burning. But as we got closer, that's when we noticed it was a cross.
I was horrified. I was angry. This was very, very intentional. You had to have made this cross, put it in some kind of vehicle, brought it downtown, carried it over to putting against a tree, which has another whole symbolism, and then lighting on a fire. You were sending a message.
Chicago police releasing this image of a suspect wanted in connection to the arson. The man with dark hair wearing dark pants, white shoes, and a black backpack with no shirt. The woman who took this cell phone video thinks she may have seen him.
We did see a person just walking from it. As we pulled up, we saw this this young man kind of walking from it, headed west, like towards Michigan Avenue, a little too calmly for something like this, and it felt kind of weird. And then as we were leaving, you kind of see him picking up speed running.
As police worked,
like I said, it makes you wonder. That question that was posed: who was actually under those sheets? Okay, let's continue. I'm gonna show you what these Asian beauty supply owners did to these young teenagers, and then they sit back and wonder why we're tired of them. Okay, check this out.
A Chesapeake father wants justice after he says his daughter was among a group of girls wrongly locked inside a business for a crime they didn't commit.
My daughter and her friends won't ever forget about that. So I just think that's wrong.
Police say the incident happened last Friday at Coco Beauty Supply in the Parkview Shopping Center. The owner of the store says a little over a week ago, a group of girls stole over $1,000 in merchandise. So they printed off this surveillance picture of the suspects and handed them out to nearby businesses in hopes of catching them. Then this past Friday, Reuben Houston says his 16-year-old daughter and 3 of her friends were at the Subway in that same shopping center when they noticed a security guard was following them. He says they walked into the beauty supply store a few businesses down. Shortly after entering, Houston says a manager locked the girls inside.
My daughter asked them why can't we leave? She says, you'll find out.
That's when Chesapeake police say they were called and responded about 10 minutes later. After a quick investigation, police realized the girls were not involved with the previous shoplifting incident and they were let go. Houston filed a police report and says he believes this was a case of racial profiling.
I personally think that everybody's going to be a suspect. You know, if you have braids or weave and you're black, even the kids are suspects now. I guess mine was.
I spoke with the beauty supply manager who locked the girls inside. She says it all started because a Subway employee called security on the girls thinking they looked like the suspects. She sincerely apologized and says she only locked them in because the security guard told her to do so.
The security guard told her to do it. So I guess that meant it was okay. Okay, let me just lock these doors and violate these young ladies' rights. You know what, folks? We need to start playing hardball. Start calling and reporting businesses. Yeah, let's do that. Because a lot of these businesses are open and operating illegally. Since you guys want to violate people's rights and kidnap them within your business, we need to find out if you're legitimate. For real. Like, the truth is, we should be happy that this is happening. Because now you know who your enemies are. And then you see what they did to those young ladies. The father was so bothered. He came on camera and was like, nowadays, they'll accuse a little 3-year-old. I don't think he said 3-year-olds, but we got the point. They will accuse anybody. A little 4-year-old walking there thinking their mama in there, you stole something? Okay. Let's go on. How did these thriving economy ecosystems, these Black Wall Streets, just crumble? It wasn't one single thing. It was a calculated multi-front assault. This wasn't some secret conspiracy. It was a well-documented campaign of destruction carried out right in the open. It started with the most brutal tool, pure violence. And it goes on to talk about the Tulsa race massacre, false allegations. I did a video a couple of years ago. I think it's called media provocation, because actually it was the white media who caused this. They actually owe us, because if they didn't come in lying and gaslighting these people that already had an issue with low impulse control, it wouldn't have happened. They destroyed dozens of city blocks and murdered an untold number of Black residents. Similar massacres fueled by racial terror and economic resentment targeted Black communities like Rosewood, Florida, and East St. Louis. The message was clear. The message was loud and clear. If you build it, we will burn it down. But violence wasn't the only one. The next attack was more subtle, systemic, economic strangulation. In the 30s, the federal government itself got in on the act with a policy we now know as redlining. The Homeowners Loan Corporation created color-coded maps of American cities, and Black neighborhoods were almost always colored red, labeling them hazardous and making them ineligible for federally backed mortgages and business loans. Redlining systematically starved Black neighborhoods of capital, making it nearly impossible to get a loan, to expand, to rebuild, or to buy a home. No matter how successful your business was, it was a government-sanctioned blockade on cash, choking off Black entrepreneurs while subsidizing white wealth through low-cost loans in green-lined suburbs. If you guys have time this summer, if some of you guys are taking breaks, I implore you to read this book. It's called The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein. He breaks it down. He breaks it down how they did our people wrong. In the 50s and 40s in Northern California, that's when my grandparents came from. They migrated from Northern California to Southern California where they bought a house. I never asked them why, because I didn't even know anything about this. You know what I don't like the most? That our men went to the service and couldn't participate in that GI Bill that a lot of white veterans used. That created generational wealth for them. They bought houses and properties and was able to pass it down to their family. Our black fathers and grandfathers couldn't do that. Let's go. Let's take a brief intermission, and I want you to listen to what Dr. Claude Anderson says about why so many people hate when we talk about unity and pooling our monies together. Check this out.
Racism is a team sport. It came into existence as a team. You play as a team or you lose by default. And only with black folk do people get upset when black folks start talking about coming together and uniting and working together and cooperating together, buying from each other and supporting each other. You know why? For a simple reason that everybody understands. When you come together and unify, that signifies strength. And right now, everybody right now is pimping and hustling black folk. They've been pimping and hustling black folk for 400 or 500 years. We spend approximately 97% to 98% of all our money outside of our own community, as an example. And we don't practice group economics. We don't practice group politics. All that makes, when we spend 98% of all our money outside of our community, what that does, it makes the other groups enriched. They now are living off of two incomes. They live off of 100% of their money and 98% of our money. And what are we left with is 2%, where everybody else is living off of 198% of everything. We live off of 2%, which makes it impossible. And so you start talking about unifying black folk, that's a threat. They said, you're going to cut off your money from us? You're going to cut off, we living off of two incomes. You're going to reduce us down to one income? That's a threat to them. Also, it's a threat when you start talking about unifying blacks and looking out for your own people. That means political possibility of uniting as a political force in this country, which nobody wants to see.
Is their money? Aren't these people getting angry like our money is their money? Like we actually went into their bag, handbag, wallet, what have you, and took their money. Like you gonna actually stop giving me your money? You've been doing this so long. Why are you stopping now? Now I want you guys to check out this next clip. The audacity. See, that's why we keep saying we have no allies. Check out the balls on this melanated immigrant. Check this out.
It's always somebody.
Why do black Americans always pick a fight with every damn group of people and race in America and also outside of America? It's crazy because every time I see this happen, they always say, well, let's boycott these people. So they've tried boycotting Target, Home Depot.
Who wants to be a model minority? They always have a problem when black Americans choose to boycott something. But they never have a problem when white Americans choose to do the same.
Open after being forced to shut their doors until they comply. The Department of Labor says they owe $1,000 in unpaid wages to employees.
Using Stephanie Simone talked with owners of the accused salons. She joins us live from New Haven. Stephanie.
Anna Keith, the Department of Labor says places like Fashion Nail scrambled to get into compliance so they could reopen their doors. They say that they broke several labor laws.
Connecticut nail salons forced to shut down for a day, accused of underpaying employees.
I mean, I feel kind of terrible. So I'm disappointed. I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed.
Salons in New Haven, Branford, Hartford, and Fairfield County had to close their doors on August 3rd by the Department of Labor. Investigators found many of the 23 salons did not pay employees minimum wage. Salons like Sarah Nails and Branford faced thousands of dollars in penalties for paying nail techs in cash. Ladies we spoke with said they plan on taking their business elsewhere.
Maybe it would behoove me to go back to a regular salon, like a higher-end day spa, and pay a little extra money, as long as I know the employees are getting taken care of.
I'm never getting my nails done again. Like, we have to set a new standard that natural is pretty.
I have to imagine that many people out of Nigeria are sick of people like her. I mean, they're all up in the United States of America, and then all of a sudden they're brand new. Completely irritated by black Americans, however, not irritated by the slave labor going on in the Asian nail shops across America. The exploitation is widely known. However, she chooses to say, why do black Americans always boycott people? Looks like they should have been boycotted a long time ago. But slave labor, debt bondage, and a host of other things, like chasing a teenager down and slaughtering him on the streets, those aren't problems. Or let's try child labor in the mines of the Congo. Let's try domestic violence that takes place heavily in Nigeria. But no, those aren't problems. The problem is when black Americans boycott.
They are so busy minding our business that they don't even care about minding their own. And did you see the low blow? They tried to boycott Target. Since you know we boycotted Target, your ass know that Target was going all over this country trying to get us to stop. Since you're insinuating that when we boycott it's not effective. You know what? I always say, if they put the energy they have into being in our business, if they put it into fixing the issues in their country, they will be living in paradise. Let's continue. Then came the final physical blow, disguised as progress, urban renewal. Starting in the 50s, cities began using federal funds to clear slums, a term that was frequently just a code word for black neighborhoods. This policy earned a bitter nickname in black communities, Negro removal. The most devastating tactic was the construction of the interstate highway system. Look at a map of almost any major American city, and you'll see a highway cutting right through what used to be a thriving black commercial district. In Richmond, Interstate 95 was routed to slice Jackson Ward in half, destroying countless buildings and severing the community's economic arteries. In Atlanta, a connector was built that walled off Sweet Auburn. This wasn't just poor planning, it was a strategy that used concrete and steel to dismantle the physical heart of black communities. This is a history they don't teach you in school. It's just not about isolated events, but a clear pattern of targeted destruction. Now, let me show you right quick the joy that you folks are bringing into the hearts of these black business owners. One of the videos, I had to watch her several times because she was just so happy. She was so elated. She was thanking people for coming in, doing business with her, because she said it's enabling her to buy more merchandise and do more things she couldn't do because she didn't have the traffic. I saw some people in some comments saying, you know, they was happy about it, but they were saying that black businesses charge more. And people were like, that's systemic too. They have to pay more. And then you forgot some of these people don't sell them products. So they, you know, either they're going to charge more or they got to close their doors. And they're not trying to do that. So maybe when you guys start going to them more and stop going to these other people businesses, these immigrant businesses, they'll be making more money and they don't have to have such higher prices. I pray to God that our people don't do that. If these people are starting to frequent your business, don't keep those prices raised. Okay? Now check out these clips.
My daughter just said we need to stop by the beauty supply store. What do we need to get? Rubber bands, mascara, and prison. All right, I think we will stop by the beauty supply store right here at Apex. In the Temple Hills area, right around Crossland High School, next to the Giant. We're going to go pick up our beauty supply. Oh, I thought you didn't even want to be on. Okay. So we're going to go pick up our hair care needs with people who look like us, who vote like us, who are concerned with matters like us. And even if they don't vote like us, they look like us, and we're putting that money back into our community. Hope to see you here.
Hello, I am the owner of LaFleur Essence Beauty Supply Store right here in San Jacinto, California. I've got an awesome store here, but nobody knows it's here yet. So you can help me out. You can repost this video, like, share, comment, help get the algorithm stirred up. And then what's going to happen is people are going to come into my store and they're going to find out just how nice a store it really is. All right. May God bless you and may God keep you.
I just want to take this time to thank everybody who's come in the store over the last couple of days. You just don't know what a blessing it has been for my small business. It has allowed me to come in and be able to order more products this week. So next week we're going to have some more stuff coming in the store. So you all please keep coming.
To be honest with y'all, I had no idea there were so many black beauty supply owners. I had no idea. But won't God do it? He might do it in some crazy ways, but won't he do
We
it?
have wigs on sale. All these wigs over here on the back wall are on sale. Human wigs, $30. Synthetic wigs, $20. And if you want the mannequin head along with it, you can also get the mannequin head for an extra $15. But yeah, Come shop with us. Come get a wig. Come even see what we have. Even if you don't buy anything, come and check us out. We're Black owned. Come in here and talk to us. Get to know us. Follow us on social media. And yes, we'll have wigs.
After decades of violence, economic starvation, and physical destruction, the next big change came from an unexpected place: the Civil Rights Movement. The legal end of segregation was a massive victory for justice, but for many Black-owned businesses, it created a painful paradox. It ended our Black businesses, and then came the immigrants into our communities. See, before integration, Black consumers often had little choice but to support Black-owned businesses. They had a captive market. But after the Civil Rights Act of '64, those doors to the wider economy opened. Black consumers could and did start spending their money at the large white-owned department stores and chains that had previously been off limits. This led to a huge drain of capital from the very businesses that had sustained the community for generations. But here's the cruel twist. The promise of integration was a one-way street. While Black consumers were welcome at white-owned stores, Black entrepreneurs weren't welcome into the broader marketplace. They still faced the same barriers to getting loans, the same discrimination from suppliers, and some lack of access to the networks that help white businesses grow. They lost their protected customer base but gained no real access to a wider one. Many iconic businesses like the Brooks Motel in Jacksonville, Florida, that once hosted Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., just couldn't compete and disappeared. And it's still happening today. It's still repeating today. But the thing is, they're financing these immigrants to come in and do what they did to us. And then we went rushing in, supporting their businesses, making them rich. And they didn't come and support us. And what are these immigrants doing today? It's the same thing, just different colors. People with different colors are doing it. Okay, folks, I'm going to take another intermission. This may be the last intermission that I take before I conclude this video. But these next clips I'm going to show you is the effery of it all. It may be one more clip that is celebrating Black American businesses. But other than that, yes, these clips I'm going to show you, to me, it further confirms why I'm glad we have done this. Why I'm glad we have collectively done this. And I believe in my heart there are more of our people who are for this than who are still thinking that these people who are immigrants are our family. Okay. They say that blood is thicker than water, but I learned that feces is thicker than blood. So I'm glad we are at a point where we said we're not going to give you the shoe, put it on your foot, tie it up snugly, bend over, and let you kick us in a crack of our behinds. Check this out.
I found myself in Asian people business, and this is what I found out. They mad about that boycott. They real mad about that boycott. They saying that if that boy went in that store trying to steal them bottles of water, even though it's been proven so many different times that that boy did not try to steal them bottles of water, he would not have been put on a t-shirt. In fact, mind you, I'm only the messenger. This is exactly what they said. They said that they tired of these niggas and their niggerism. Those are their exact words, okay? They also are saying that if y'all are so anti-Asian and y'all don't want to use none of our shit, make sure you don't use nothing made in China. Make sure you don't buy none of our wigs and weaves. Don't go to our hair stores. Don't go to our restaurants, our corner stores. Don't do nothing. They said stay up out of our shit. They said they tired of y'all broke niggas coming and they shit stealing. Then all in the same breath, they're upset that we don't want to be racially profiled every time we want to go and patronize any of these businesses. Yeah, they're saying that we're playing the Asian hate card Although when we're going in these same Asian businesses that are in our communities, we're being followed around. You know, we're being accused of stealing. You know, y'all are trying to enforce these strict ass rules on the people that are quote unquote supposed to be patronizing your business. Then you got the PR princess. The power to the people, okay? Child, they are going working overtime, making video after video, how they feel with Black community, and they're just so ashamed, and, you know, that they understand why Black people don't want to patronize Asian businesses. But yet, when you're at the dinner table with your mom and dad and your grandma and everybody at the table, and they're openly being racist, you're not doing or saying anything. You see, your power to the people, and you support the Black community when Black people are in the room. But when Black people are no longer in that room, are you still having that same stance and viewpoint? Yeah, I didn't think so. But
that part, what she said at the end, that part, it's like, it seemed like every time I got on TikTok, it was an other up there pleading their case, trying to let Black Americans know that they are their unofficial advocate and they understand. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, you're saying this online, but do you say this personally, privately to your prejudiced, biased, racist family? Friends, co-workers? And I was like, I know you don't, because you don't have the backbone to take the backlash, to take being ostracized. So no. Other than that, I just believe that people learn how to earn a check. All you got to do is say something that Black people like, melanated immigrants like, Black Americans like, and they gonna be on you. They gonna be on you tough like flies on feces, whether you are sincere or not. And that is what bothers me the most about my people. That these people could be up here just laughing in the background. They done made so much money off of you supporting them. It's like you come off like you're thirsty for somebody to be kind to you, and it doesn't matter. The devil can walk up to you, and you see signs that it's the devil, and you still accept. Okay, let's go. Let's continue.
Okay, all my y'all are really all the way out here unapologetically selling Juneteenth T-shirts to people. Okay. Hey, I'm Shauna from Shop the Hood, and since I've got my dropping some Black-owned business earrings on, let me give you some Black-owned businesses that you could be shopping with during Juneteenth. Because, girl, what? Yeah, since I've been off this Black buying guide, making it easier for us to go shopping with each other, let me just show you some Black-owned businesses that you could be shopping with, keeping their money in the community. We've got Black and Ugly with their Juneteenth t-shirt, and they also have a Green Book clothing line as well. Black Facts Clothing has this wonderful Black Inventors t-shirt. JME Artistry always comes in swinging with their Teach What Really Happened t-shirts. And Art Piece has their Woke Up Black Again. What a blessing. Power and Black Tees has a full line of Juneteenth products and apparently a great sale going on. And talking about always having a good sale, you know, God ain't petty, but I am. I will always keep shopping with her because, yes, I have this t-shirt also. Resilient Grace has a Juneteenth collection that you can go shopping with her. And she just keeps the Black history flowing on in her entire line. And Urban Ebony Designs have things that are absolutely for the culture. And since we're on 30 days of scams and businesses to not shop with that will absolutely be going into the Ain't No Way section, did you guys steal Urban Ebony Designs' entire website? And I'm talking to you, Kennedy 1865, because what? Yeah, you guys will absolutely be placed in our Ain't No Way section. But here's a little heads up to the community. If you're looking on the website, you don't see any of their social media links, don't go shopping there. Because somehow they advertise on social media, but they don't have a social media account. Yeah, that says fishiness. Yes, protect the Black dollar as best we can. Because they are unapologetically all the way out here trying to sell you something. Taking the money out of our community. Yeah, this is going to be an absolute now.
I absolutely love this. I love how we're actually looking out for one another's pockets. We are like, look, they are scamming. It's so many scams that have erupted these past couple of weeks that we said we're keeping our money to ourselves. And then these are the same people that was like, yeah, go ahead and boycott Black Americans. We don't need you. But now you're scamming.
Yeah, so the non-white businesses have been getting real crafty since we said that we were going to boycott. And what they're doing is they're changing their profile pages and creating other pages to signify that they're Black when they're really not. They're using music that is, maybe Black anthem music, and they are really trying to make people think that they are Black-owned businesses. They're doing stuff like creating AI-generated videos of Black people saying that they are creating different products. This one that I saw, there was a Black boy that was doing a crochet hat. And he was saying that, that the Black Queens is going to listen to this and listen to the end of the video, watch the video to the end. And then there was a person in the comments saying, oh, you're a Black boy, why are you making crochet hats? And this person, so to speak, was a non-black person. And so they do that so that black people will then go in the comments and say, oh no, I'm going to support. Where's the link? I'm going to support, which is what was happening. But researchers found out that it was not a black-owned business. It actually was an Indian-owned business. So even though they're saying, oh, we don't need y'all money and y'all don't really contribute that much, blah, 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 they're going hard trying to make us think that they are black-owned businesses because they know that that's what we're trying to support. And it just lets you know that they do need our money. So what I would suggest is, not if it's a new business, it's a new company, especially on TikTok. Oh my God, they are infiltrating TikTok like crazy. Don't just buy based off of profile page, based off profile picture, based off of music. Don't do that. Don't look at the comments and see somebody that's a bot account saying something and then you go, saying something negative and then you go like, oh no, I got to support them. Don't do that. If you cannot verify by moving videos, by them doing a live, by them doing actual Facebook videos, TikTok videos, that they're a black-owned company, I say don't buy from them. There are a lot of black directories, black apps that are popping up now. They have been, but there's more and more that are popping up now that verify that these are black-owned companies and black-owned businesses before you buy. And I would suggest that you go through one of them first. Stay vigilant, stay woke, stay dangerous.
Remember Mr. Bodie that came out saying, yeah, I dare y'all. Okay. And remember the young lady, I played a clip of her in one of my videos where she was saying, yeah, they pissed off at him. He got on and just jacked them up because he was, put his foot in his mouth. Okay, listen to this guy. Listen to this one.
Just a quick PSA to all of the Asian business owners out there across this country. If y'all are losing money due to the fact that the black community are boycotting y'all, and with the Chinese restaurants having all of these orders and no one show up and pick up, whatever, just letting y'all know that this motherfucker right here is the one to blame it on. He's the one that dared the black community to boycott Asian businesses. And now, instead of standing on business, the motherfucker himself decided to delete all of his social media and go into hiding. This is why a lot of Asian motherfuckers out there just bark out loud. When it comes to standing on business, they shut the f*** later.
So apparently Chinese-owned companies are creating fake black entrepreneurs to sell fake black-owned products, and they're using AI to do it.
Everyone told me nobody would buy an elephant purse from a black woman. I made every one of these with my hands.
This is not a real person. Here's another one.
I design leather cowboy hats.
Wait, are you serious? You design hats?
Every detail. I pick the leather, choose the hardware, and design the whole look. Like this one right here. I designed this.
Oh, wow, that is beautiful. This is AI. Again, this is not a real person. I did the research. These people do not have a name. They do not exist. This is AI. The worst part is when I see these videos, I look in the comments and I see very conscious black supporters who are saying they're going to buy it, or some saying they already bought it. They have no idea that they've been caught.
Have you seen this creator in your feed? Her account popped up, several days ago, and the first time I saw it, it had like 8,000 followers. It's now got 24,000 followers. One of her videos has more than 420,000 likes. Okay, I can't play you any of her videos because they have copyrighted sound over all of them. They're all 13 to 22 seconds long. Most of them start off with the exact same audio intro. She says, if you commented, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And then it rolls into a clip of her looking like she's working on making these belt buckles and then showing them off and linking to her store. Each video has a little bit of a sob story. I'd rather buy from China than from you. I'd never buy from a black-owned business. My husband thinks I should close my business, etc., etc. And the comments are all really supportive, like, wow, girl, such amazing artistry. Oh my gosh, yes, I want to support a black-owned business. I want to support black women artisans. Oh my gosh, I'm totally there to support you. Where can I buy your products? Y'all, this is a scam. This is digital blackface. This is AI. There are many ways that AI is getting more convincing and more deceptive, but there are still some obvious glitches. For example, what's happening here? This is clearly not reality. There's no needle. She's not doing anything useful, and then randomly the sinew breaks. Here, this is a real video at the end of the AI-generated ad.
You're relogging me. I don't know what you're talking about. Get out. Oh, she just said we look like we steal. Get out.
Hey, this is the Gusta House store, man. They said it looked like we steal. I just spent $30. Did I not? Did I not just...
Why would you ask her in the first place?
She keeps staring at me. What you mean?
You're staring at us.
I can't even shop a piece. Then she say it look like you steal.
Just get out, please. I don't want any trouble. Get out.
I do that. But y'all don't know about it. Look like, you said it looked like I steal though. I'm not watching my job.
So I am currently in the beauty supply store in Norwood by Xavier University. And I had somebody follow me so closely. Like every time I turned, he turned. Like, it was real ridiculous, right? A staff member approached me like, you okay? Because they saw the stuff going on. So I politely told them when I came to the front how I felt as a patron of this store. Like, I was being intimidated because I was black and I did not need to be followed because I'm not going to steal. The gentleman here proceeds to then get smart with me, start talking in whatever Korean or whatever language he speaks, and start yelling. So then I start getting loud too. Like, look, no, you need to understand. You guys are minorities as well, and it's wrong to treat people like that. We patronize them, and then they treat us with disrespect. They got their phones on me. I don't care about none of that. They threatened to call the police on me. But what they need to understand is, like I told them, call the police, because I have a right to express how I feel as a patron of this store. I said that you also should probably, let's do this together, sis. I said that you all should probably understand that how customers feel when you all are being rude.
That's why we said enough. We gonna stop letting these racists use these immigrants as mindless puppets who sit back and say, what did we do? Now they all around the country. What we do? We ain't did nothing. It's like, stop talking. All you're doing is humiliating yourself. Let's go. As these pressures mounted, the very fabric of these historic neighborhoods began to change. The once stable communities, now economically weakened and physically scarred by highways, became vulnerable. In many cities, new immigrant groups looking for an affordable place to start in America began to move in, creating a new layer of economic competition for many longtime residents. Watching stores and institutions that had been black owned for generations change hands felt like another chapter in the story of a world that was slipping away. It wasn't just one thing, but a cascade of factors, each one a direct result of that initial systemic dismantling of their economic foundation. The legacy of the lost world is all around us. We see it in the staggering racial wealth gap, the denial of home ownership and business capital generations ago. One of the primary drivers, among other systemic issues, created a deficit that was compounded over time. The story of black business in America is a cycle of incredible resilience in the face of a deliberate, sustained effort to crush black economic independence. But the story doesn't end with destruction. That blueprint was never truly erased. It was never. Whatever they tried to destroy in us never went anywhere. If anything, it got stronger. The same spirit of entrepreneurship that built Greenwood, Sweet Auburn, and Jackson Ward is alive and well. The challenge now is to learn from our history, to recognize that black prosperity wasn't a fluke, but a force that was intentionally suppressed. The fight isn't over. It's in our hands to rebuild. We do that by understanding the weapons that were used to tear us down. We do that by consciously and unapologetically supporting black-owned businesses today. The barbers, the accountants, the caterers, tech startups. We have to recreate that circular flow of capital in our own communities. The blueprint for black wealth was created once under the most oppressive conditions imaginable. Think about what we can do now. Yep, folks, a lot of people need to think about it in our community. You need to think about it. Aren't you tired of being called inconsistent? Aren't you tired of getting the bear of the bear? It's like, man, you can't even be in your own community and get good customer service. And then you go outside of your community and you're being stalked and treated like, the same way. So what's left to do? Build our own infrastructures, and it's not impossible. Like I keep pointing out in some of my videos, look what our people were able to achieve during times when they literally had laws against us. But anyway, you understand the opposition that was against our people, and look what they still achieved. So what do you think we can do today? we'll build such a bad infrastructure that other people will be begging to be a part of it. And we're going to have to deal with some of our folks that, you know, okay, you can come to the cookout. They say one thing to them that tickle their fancy, and hey, you can come to the cookout. You don't have to bring nothing either. No, everybody can't come to the cookout. Even a snake will let you warm it up if it's cold. Okay, folks, I'm about to shut up the shop. I hope this video was informative to you as it was to me. And I will see you guys in the next video. And don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Sometimes it takes a long time to get where you need to be. And then think about it. How many of our people were ready to hear the truth? This is the first time I've seen within the last, I'll say 5-10 years, that our people want to hear about the atrocities of our ancestors. It took me a long time to want to hear it. And I said, we are the only group who's never had the ability to mourn. Never. Anytime we bring up, whether it's present or in the past, oh Lord, here we go. Do you people ever let anything go? You flip the script and say, do you? Still going in the woods having civil war and reenactments. Come on now, hypocrites. Okay, I'm about to be out, folks. Have a good night, be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.